Hi everyone and welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you the best and worst products from Sheglam in my experience. I've obviously not tried everything from the brand, but the things that I do, I've tried enough to be able to tell you what I can recommend and what I will not. Just to start off with, I know that the brand is quite controversial. There's like a documentary apparently being made and the employees are being treated really unfairly, you know, like getting 1 day off a month and stuff like that. But honestly, we don't have a lot of brands available in South Africa, and I'm sure I've said this before, but yeah, we don't have a lot of brands accessible to us, and this is one that is, so please bear with me. I'm trying not to buy from them consistently, but this is only my 4th time in, say, 2 years that I've ordered from them, so, and I don't really order clothes. I've ordered a couple of items and I don't like the quality, I don't like the size, I don't like the fitting, so I will not be ordering clothes from them anytime soon, but the makeup is alright and I have some thoughts. So without further ado, let's jump straight in. I am actually planning to do the same video with Essence, so please let me know if there's any products that you have tried from Essence that you would possibly like me to try, and I will include it in the video if I, give it a fair shot. But for Sheglam, let's go ahead and get started. So I'm going to start off with the worst products that, in my opinion, come from Sheglam. Just some of their products I think just don't hit the mark. Like, even though it's affordable, it's just not worth it. But starting off with the mascara. So I tried the waterproof lengthening mascara. That was horrible. It just kind of blackens your lashes, and I think it has latex in it, so it makes your eyelashes really crunchy and it really itches at the base. So I really didn't like it. I struggled to take it off as well, even though it being crunchy, it would just rip my lashes out, and my lashes are still suffering from that. So completely avoid that. I don't have it on hand, as you can tell, so pop in a picture up. Next, I also don't have this one. I just got rid of this as soon as my eyes started reacting to it, and that is their liquid liner. It doesn't have a name, it's just this one. It's meant to be a brush tip, I guess, but the point is so hard and not flexible at all. Again, it's latex based and I'm allergic to latex, so eyes itch so bad and it just cracks and flakes off. It's also got like a vinyl shiny finish, which I do not like in a liquid liner, and it just generally wasn't a good product, so I would suggest avoiding that. So moving on, the next product I really wouldn't recommend, even though it looks really pretty and intriguing, is this Mexico City palette, and it is Mexico City Stay Fuego. I recently reviewed this and I'm wearing it on my eyes today. I'll pop in a little skit of me using it. It's just very patchy. It has little to no payoff. You have to keep building it up. I used this lime green shade, as you can see, but honestly it looked yellow and it just wouldn't build up to the pigmentation that I needed it to be at. The shimmers, again, they just pure glitter. They flake off, they fall everywhere if you don't have a tacky base, so you can't apply it over the actual shadow because it just doesn't stick. I have tried another one which I'll mention in the best products that was way better than this, but I cannot recommend this at all. It's affordable, so avoid that by all costs. Next, all 3 of these liquid products unfortunately didn't work for me. Partly it is my own fault, but I didn't read correctly, but still it's just so bad. So let's start off with the worst one out of the bunch, I think, which is the highlighter. I did do a little demo video as well, so you'll see I put it on my hand, rub it in, and then put it on my face. But this is just so silicone-y, and it patches up, and I don't know, it just doesn't look good on the skin. It's basically a silicone based with glitter in it, so I don't know, I think it looks horrible on the skin. It doesn't add anything to like my collection. There's nothing special about this. I have tried other liquid highlighters that are a lot better than this, so avoid that. I know everybody's going gaga for it on TikTok, but I've tried it now for myself and I cannot recommend it. It's not a good product. Then the blushes, I have one on my face to get today. Again, I'll pop in a demo video, but I have the one is in Float On and the other one is in Risky Business, and unfortunately I got both in the Day Glow formula, which is the glittery formula. So unfortunately, when you apply it, like the pigment is pretty good, but obviously adding powder over the top, it kind of dulls it down. But once you add powder on top, you can actually see the glitter. The glitter doesn't move with the product. So if I dab it on my face over there and then blend all out, the glitter sticks where I have put it down. It doesn't actually move with the product. So you end up with like dots of glitter balls on your face, which doesn't look very nice and it's impossible to blend out. I don't know why it's once you've added the powder on top that the glitter is like way too prominent, but that's what happens and I would avoid it. Like I haven't tried the matte ones, which I really do want to because it looks alright, but I wouldn't recommend these at all. Next is the 12-hour full coverage concealer. I've mentioned this in a previous video before, but this is a really bad concealer. Again, I did apply it today. It ages me so much because it's just too matte, too dry, and I don't know, makes me look old. Like it's crepey under the eyes, it falls into lines, and it's not very good. It is in the shade Coconut Flakes, which I think is actually not a bad shade. I thought it was a bit too light, but when I added it on top of a darker foundation today, the color looked really good, but the formula is just not it. It's way too matte in my opinion. Next we have this blush. I don't have it anymore. I actually decluttered it and gave it to a friend because I ordered the shade Tangerine, which evidently in the picture is like an orangey ombre shade, but for some reason it said Tangerine on the back sticker, but inside was the pink one, which was too light for my skin. And the product itself has a white base, so on my skin it just looked wrong. It almost turned grey, and it had a sheen through it that was also way too light for my skin, so it just all around didn't look good. And it's a matte blush, so I don't know why it had a sheen through it, which I personally didn't like. So I handed that over to my friend and she really likes it, so yeah, wouldn't recommend. Lastly, for the worst products from Sheglam, I have this, I think the actual product is called the Starlight Velvet Glow lipstick, and this is also from a recent one. It has like, that's what it looks like. It has some shimmer through it. I'll just put it here. It has some shimmer through it, but honestly the formula is just so dry and it accentuates every single line or dry patch you have on your lip. So the color is gorgeous, love it. I don't even mind that it has a shimmer through it, but the formula is so dry. I just can't wear it unless I'm wearing a gloss over, and I'm not a gloss girl, so ultimately I've only used that twice and it's definitely not one that I would recommend. Now it's time for the best products that I used from Sheglam. Best being things that I would literally use on a regular basis and won't just lie in my drawer. There are some products that I won't mention in here because they just didn't make an impact, and it wasn't the worst nor the best, as I do with most of my videos. But let's start off with primer. I don't have this on hand, but I left it in the UK once again. Actually, I brought it with me, but my bag was so heavy I had to empty some things out, so I gave my boyfriend some stuff to take home with him, and that was unfortunately one of them because it's just so big and so bulky. But it is the Birthday Skin Primer, the rose one. I know they have another white one that I've seen a lot of people use and it doesn't look the same. The consistency is like all runny and stuff, and this one is not. It's more like a balmy texture. It doesn't blow your pores or blow your skin like it promises, but what it does do is it evens out your skin tone by adding like a slightly pink hue, and then when you put on your foundation it just like, it's all an even color, and I really liked that. I've used it multiple times, obviously when I was in the UK, but it was just one that I couldn't bring back with me, but I really liked it and can recommend that one. The next one I do have is this Ready Set Prime eyeshadow primer, and when I first bought this I didn't think I would like it at all. I did like the haul video and I swatched it and it felt so silicone-y, but once you put it on the eye and blend it out, it has a really nice tack that grips onto your eyeshadow and is actually pretty good. It doesn't obviously even out your skin tone, so that doesn't really bother me, but it grips onto the eyeshadow so well, and I would definitely recommend. This is just so cheap. I think it's like 20 or 30 rand, so definitely worth that. Next, I don't have this with me, but it's the eyeshadow palette that I bought back last year, and that is the Afterglow palette, and I really like this eyeshadow. It has so many different textures in it, like some cream shadows, some normal powder shadows, then it has like the jelly sparkles and the nice formula of the shimmers. I don't know what's happening to my words today, but it has like the nice shimmer as well that just sticks, and then there's a pressed glitter in there as well. I really like this, and I created some really pretty looks with it. So, and obviously it has the greens in it, so definitely attracted me, but I again didn't bring it back with me just because I had a certain limit of things I could take with me because I was obviously leaving the UK, so I've left it there, but definitely a good one and would recommend. Then the foundations, I have two foundations that I've tried from them and I really like both. The first one is the Complexion Pro long lasting matte foundation. I got mine in the shade Cappuccino, which was completely wrong. The whole shade range, like I've mentioned before, is completely whack. They just have no correlation to the shades. Like I've said before, the models just don't go with like the colors, and like I am a medium slash, I wouldn't say I'm deep, but I'm more like a medium to dark complexion. So the models that I thought I matched, the foundation came and it was way darker. So anyway, I got Cappuccino and it didn't match my skin, but the texture of the foundation was really nice. It was so smooth. It went literally, it made your skin look like your skin but better, and it kind of blurred the pores. It looked really good, and I would definitely recommend it. I haven't tried the dewy one that they have, because they have a new one that's pretty dewy, and I haven't tried it because the Skinfluencer came out and I wanted to try that instead. So that is what we have next. It comes in like a cute little velour package, and I don't know why, like to protect the product, but it's plastic. So this is the Skinfluencer foundation balm, and I got this one in the shade Cashew, which is the shade down. Is that what it's called? Yeah. But this again is too dark for me, so it's just a whole confabulation. But anyway, this one is pretty good. I really like the texture of it. It does smell weird. It smells like paint, like acrylic paint, to be honest. But I have it on today, and I'll pop in a clip as always, but I really like the way it goes onto the skin and it doesn't seep into your pores, and it just like evens everything out really nicely. It does oxidize though, but just talking about the texture and the formula and how it feels on the skin is really nice. I do, however, as you can see, I applied this probably 40 minutes ago, and as you can see, I'm already going shiny, especially on my chin and over here. It is pretty warm today. We're having like a thunderstorm, but I'm already going oily, so only 40 minutes. So you're gonna have to keep powdering this and blotting it, but there's nothing wrong with that. Some foundations just require you to do that, and it just depends what you're willing to do. But in all honesty, I really like the way this looks on my skin. Moving on to cream contour / cream bronzer, these two products. So the first one is the Sun Sculpt Liquid Bronzer in the shade Warm Honey. I really do like this. However, it does blend away. It's got a good tone and you have to keep building it up, so it is fairly sheer, which I don't like in any products, to be honest, except my powders, obviously. Like this is way too sheer. It smells like chocolate, which is really nice, but I do still like it for days where I'm going for a more natural look. So I added this one on this side, but I did go over it with a powder bronzer, so you can't really see it anymore because, like I said, it does fade. Then I have this color and contour stick. When I first bought this and tried it, I was unsure of it just because it's quite a stiff formula, and you kind of have to work to blend it out, but at least it's pigmented and it does have a slight glow to it. So with a little bit of elbow grease, this looks really good, and it lasts a lot longer than this, obviously, because it is a thicker, more stiff formula, but it stays on very nicely. I put that on this cheek, and as you can see, like between the two contours, this one is really more prominent because of this little stick. I also did use the bottom, which is like a highlighter shade, and I just cleaned up the bottom, and I really like this for that. It looks really, really nice, but again, a stiffer formula. Next, moving on to powders, and I have two here. I think it's the only two setting powders I've actually even tried from them, and I really do like it. The only problem with this one is, like I said in a previous video, it's in the shade Toasted Almond, and it is the Insta Ready Face and Under Eye Setting Powder Duo. The top powder is way too fair for my under eyes, and then the powder underneath is way too dark. So today I went in with this bottom powder and then lightened it up with this powder. So the top, I don't know, I just don't like my under eyes looking too stark because I just feel like it looks out of place. But I do really like the texture of the powder. It's just I should have probably gone with translucent instead of a color. And then we have the Baked Glow setting powder in translucent, and as you could see in my little demo, that it does have a shimmer through it, but it looks really nice. I really like it, and I have another one from 17 that I also really like for that. Not under the eyes, obviously, but all over the face. It still has like a velvety, soft feeling, but you can still see the glow. So really like this and would definitely recommend. Next, we have this face palette. It is called the June 3D Complexion Face Palette, and I don't have it with me again. I just didn't have the space to travel with it. So in this one, the two powder highlighters in there are not great, but they're also not bad. But the bronzer is really good. It does have a slightly red undertone, which is again not my favorite, but the texture of the powder is really nice and it's really smoothing, and I really, really like it. And as well as the cream highlighter. The cream highlighter can go over powder. It just looks wet, like that really like healthy glow. So I really love that, so would recommend. Next, we have the Metallic Glow highlighter, and the shade is called Stay Sane. I am wearing it today. I don't know if you can see, I did obviously do the demo, but this powder is really, really dry though. I'm not gonna lie. It's one of the drier formulas that I've tried from them, but it looks really pretty on the skin once it's on, and it's purple, so I like it. So I'm giving it the benefit of the doubt, but it's definitely not the best highlighter I've ever tried, but from the brand, definitely one of the best powder highlights. For setting spray, I'm sure you've seen this so many times now and knew it was going to be in here, but this is the Pressed Refresh setting powder. It smells delicious, I can tell you that, and the mist is so nice and soft and light, and oh, I love it. I could bathe in it, I promise you. But this was also, I can't remember the exact price, but it was cheap, so I really, really love it. I'm definitely going to try and repurpose the component once it's done. Add maybe a different setting spray that I don't particularly like, the mister, but this is really good. Lastly, for lipstick, I have one that I like that I have on my lips today, and this is the matte lipstick in this shade Ambiguous Beige. Really, really like this. It's like a nice pinky nude, and I've just paired it with a, the color's called Plumberry, with a Plumberry liner from Wet n Wild, and I think it looks gorgeous. It actually feels more like a lip balm on the lips, but it is a matte formula, so really stoked with that. Love it, and I think it looks gorgeous on the skin. And I just want to say as well that I'm not fully promoting Sheglam. Yes, I'm putting this out on the internet, but there are those of us who don't have access to that many brands of makeup, so it's really nice to be able to play with things that are going viral and that are accessible to us, so please understand that. But that is it. That's all the products I have. As I said, you can go through my other Sheglam videos. I will link them down in the description. It's not all great, but some of them are really good and have definitely stuck in my routine. But yeah, having said all of that, I hope you guys are enjoying Vlogmas again. Please remember to subscribe and like this video if you like this kind of content. Also comment down below what Essence products you love, and I will try and include them in my video. But that's all from me, guys. See you all in my next one. Bye.